2, nice and clear. So you're doing the whole introduction about you've selected the location, you've discovered that this is how much you can afford to pay, you found a space, and now it's time for you to negotiate or sign this lease. Okay? That's how you're gonna, you can do a fairly long intro here. So you want to go in and sort of talk about, so now you got to sign the lease. Is that a big deal? Okay, that's the kind of question.
Okay, test, yep.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Hi there again, everybody. Colin here.
And Paul here.
And in this video, we're going to talk about how to negotiate nothing. It's like, what to negotiate?
So
How to
so
sign
in this
a
thing,
lease.
I want to talk about signing a lease.
How to sign a lease.
Yeah. How does this work? How does this line? You know, but introduce the you pick your location.
I will, yeah. I'm going to do that after,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I have to get that first part. Okay. Hi there again, everybody. Colin here.
And Paul here.
And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to sign a lease for your business. So at this point, you have picked a location, you really know what you can afford, so now it's, no.
That's good. No, that's
I know,
good.
but I didn't know where I lead after that. Pick the location, know what you can afford, now what?
Forward, and so now it's time to sign the lease.
Okay. Hi there again, everybody. Colin here.
And Paul here.
And in this video, we're talking about how to sign a lease for your business. So at this point, you've picked a location, you know what you can afford, now it's time to sign the lease. How important is this?
Well, this, a lease is a very, very serious legal document. And if you're going to negotiate a lease with a landlord, you need help.
Okay, now how would you negotiate a lease? How would you go about doing that?
Well, the first thing you do is have a lawyer, okay? You need to have a lawyer on your side because the lawyer is going to read the lease where guaranteed you are not going to read 150 pages of lease documents.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since this is probably going to be a long-term lease. This isn't where you're signing a year lease. This is 5 years plus, most likely.
Yeah. If you're going to be taking over a space and investing good money in capital improvements and establishing your brand in this particular location, you don't want to sign a short-term lease. You want to have, at least 5 years, and then options potentially on 5 more or 10 more.
So you got to be pretty tough at this point in time when you're talking and negotiating with a lease. You got to be tough.
Yeah, and this is why you need somebody else to negotiate the lease. If you're going to rent a space from a landlord and you're going to have a relationship with this person for 10 years, you don't really want to get into some kind of infighting at the very beginning. So you send somebody else in, your lawyer, to negotiate the lease, and he can be tough and he can try and squeeze the landlord. And then you come skating in afterwards, after everything's all signed up, and you have a good relationship with that landlord.
Yeah, and it's really important that you do have a good relationship with the landlord because you're going to be dealing with this person for 5-10 years. So if you get off on the wrong foot, it's not going to be a good situation for you or for him.
Yeah, and again, it should be a give and take relationship with the landlord. I mean, the landlord really drives the bus in a lease because you end up paying not only for the rent, but you also pay for all the maintenance, you pay for the insurance, you pay for the taxes. You're doing the landlord a huge favor by signing a lease for him. That's why you have to be very, very careful, because if you get into one of these 5-year relationships, if it's not right at the start, as you mentioned, then you're going to be stuck.
Absolutely. And when negotiating a lease, I know for a fact that it's difficult to negotiate the lease price.
Yeah, the price of a lease sometimes is established by the bank. in a lot of cases, a landlord has a loan with a financial institution, and they set the parameters on what the terms of the lease can be. So let's just take example, $20 a square foot. They will not accept a lease against the mortgage that the landlord has unless it has a minimum of $20 on the lease document. So therefore, this then allows you as a lessee to negotiate other sorts of things with the landlord and not touch the $20 a square foot.
Gotcha. So such things as, say, capital improvements, because I know that that's a huge cost. You
Yeah,
know, especially opening costs.
Yeah, definitely. And with something like that, you could have the landlord complete some of the capital improvements for you, which saves you out of pocket money, and in return, you are paying the street value at $20 a square foot.
Gotcha. So it's important to really have someone who knows what they're doing when you are negotiating to make sure that you're getting the best term.
Yeah, and a lease usually is made up of base rent, which is $20,000, a month, or $2,000 a month, whatever it might be, and then they have something which is called TMI, which is taxes, maintenance, and insurance, which is added on. So what was $14 a square foot can become $20 a square foot like that, because the taxes, maintenance, and insurance amounts to $6 a square foot.
Gotcha. So now let's talk a little bit about permits, because obviously now that you have a location set, you're about to sign a lease, you need to make sure that you can actually open this business in this location.
Yeah, I've seen that happen many times where somebody thinks that they can open any business anywhere. No, you'll have in a town or a city, they're going to have bylaws, they have zoning bylaws, which state this is the type of business which can be opened in this location. So prior to signing the lease, you should go to the city or the town, check with the zoning department. Am I going to have any problems? Are there restrictions that I'm going to face to do with hours of operation, to do with type of business, to do with parking? You want to get those all those things checked off before you go in and sign on the bottom line for the lease.
Yeah, that's a great point. So there you have it, guys. It's super important to sign a good lease for your business so that you're not, I'm just going to cut that out.
That's good. No, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, you want to sign it because it's a long-term commitment also.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. It's super important to sign a good lease for your business. Make sure that you're getting the best term that makes sense for you, because this is a 5-10 year commitment, and you want to make sure that you're put in the best position to succeed.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Okay. If you can at all, try and not use the term guys at any time.
I'm a guy.
You gotta be out of the
Why?
guy business. Gotta be out of the guy
It's not food and
business.
beverage.
I know. Yeah, just because sometimes you are talking to ladies.